Okay, everybody, welcome. We'll just give it another minute or two, just let people attend and enter the room. So welcome. And then yes, you want to, don't be shy, as they say, just, type your comments, your names in the chat box, and we'll respond in due course. But delighted everybody to be here. So there we go. So, okay, give it another minute. I think we'll probably make a move now, actually. So just a bit of context. This is being recorded. So you will get the recording. So, as long as you're registered, as long as there's an email in the system, you'll get the recordings on that one. Format is very much, Toby, will hand it over to you in a second. I've got some questions. Tarun, please do introduce yourself in a second, and then there'll be a longer discussions with Toby. I'm looking forward to that. And then Tarun, you want to join us again for part two. Part two is the audience bit, basically. So just, you want to unmute yourself or type. So that will be part two on that one. So on that note, let me start. So I'm delighted, everybody. Welcome to the podcast series. So we originally was going to being done via LinkedIn, so a few technical issues. So we went back to our sort of favorite webinar jam. So that's been sort of proven there. So that's on that one, really. So on that note, I'm going to probably, Tarun, do you want to briefly say a few words, and then I'll introduce Toby properly. So Tarun, take it away. Over to you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tarun. I'm the president of AlgoDynamix North America. I manage and oversee our North American business here at Algo. Quick overview of our company just before we begin the podcast. So we're a UK-based data analytics firm. We provide price forecasting for the financial markets, the crypto markets, commodities markets, and equities markets. We have a couple of businesses here at AlgoDynamix. We have a software business where we sell our software to high net worth individuals, tech entrepreneurs, prop traders, family offices, and hedge funds. If you'd like to try out our software, we do offer a trial package. It's £3,000 for 3 months, and we provide analytics for 10 cryptocurrencies. If you're trading crypto, 20 stock symbols if you're trading equities. And we basically offer some additional services as well that are included in that package. Everything from backtesting to support to portfolio construction as well. And then we also co-launch new funds. So new hedge funds, crypto funds, equities funds, and commodities funds. With a variety of partners, ranging from small and medium-sized hedge funds that are looking to grow and expand, family offices, tech entrepreneurs who want to start their own hedge fund. A couple of the partnerships that we have right now globally, we just launched last month a hybrid crypto equities fund with Jacobian Capital. That's a long-short fund. They're based in Hong Kong, so they're open for business. So if you'd like some more information, you can reach out to Jeremy or myself. And then we have an equities fund in California with Dr. Ranjan Nag. He's a legendary venture capitalist. He runs a firm called R42. So once again, that's been up and running for about 2 or 3 years now, open for business. So any information that you would like to have about that fund, you can reach out, send us an email. You can reach Jeremy at algodynamics.com, or you can reach me at Tarun at algodynamics.com. And we'd be happy to set up an intro exploratory call with you. Thanks, Jeremy. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you, Tarun. Tarun's always keen, actually, and we are making global presence. So thank you very much, actually. Tarun, so if please sort of join us again at 25 past, actually. So don't be shy, and then we'll sort of get on that one. So thank you, Tarun. So 2 seconds before we start, Toby, we'll get to you. Don't worry. We haven't forgotten you. I think just a bit of context. Crypto is a global phenomena. It's happening everywhere, basically. So I think depending on your jurisdiction, there may or may not be going on. I know UAE, I know Ellie's on the call, big thing there. UK's a bit less. I thought I'd just show 1 or 2 slides. This is just giving you context, and Florida's the other place, I guess, in the US, and Toby will tell us about the other hotspots. But this is just locally where I am. Actually, I'm staying in Gran Canaria. So this was literally, just this afternoon. So I just got a little scene. You can't see the crypto there, but this is just, the crypto vending machine, and there was a crypto bank there too. So that was an exchange office, and that was literally just a few steps away from the hotel. So I'm hoping one day this will be global and not just a few places, a few offshore islands. So there we go. So on that note, Toby, we've said more than enough. So I'm going to introduce you. You've got at least 3 hats on that I'm aware of. You've probably got 5 different hats. Or, it's probably 8, isn't it, as an entrepreneur, Toby? So I think Ordinals is definitely one of them. Novum Capital, I think, Novum Insights, then there's the Capital Groups, actually. So, Toby, just slightly, I guess, did 3 main hats, is that a fair statement? How would you sort of describe your roles these days?
It's definitely a fair statement. And really, like I've been spending most of my time the last couple of years building Ordinals Bot.
Yeah.
We've actually launched the Trio marketplace in the last couple of years. I think we met Jeremy as I was putting together a fund, and that's also now really coming to life at the moment, which is good fun. So we've been looking, but very focused on like our core market of like ordinals and runes. So thinking about like a niche of like that. I guess I've been sort of a very early mover in helping create DeFi on top of Bitcoin, and has been a great journey. So really like keen to chat about that.
Let's unpack that in a second, because you're going to have to start from zero, Toby. So let's assume we know nothing. In my case, it's probably not one. So I guess most of us we're probably reasonably familiar with Bitcoin. So peer-to-peer payments type thing. So you'd have your wallet on your device there. You'd have your private key. So I could send you 1 Bitcoin and you can send me a Bitcoin back. I think that's direct wallet to wallet or via exchange on that one. I think the big work you've been doing at Ordinals Bots, so you've been building on that then, Toby, is that correct? How would you sort of describe that in layman's term? Yeah.
So the great thing about Bitcoin, right, like it's the most famous blockchain, and it's uncensorable, and what that means from our point of view is an ordinal is the process of storing data onto Bitcoin. And it's exciting because I think it's a way to store data uncensorably in a way that will be there forever with sort of no outside interference. So that gets quite interesting for people, and it's a good way of storing stuff that you want to stay there forever. And so that lends itself to various different use cases, be it freedom of speech, be it like storing high value items, just generally like putting things onto Bitcoin that other people have value. So I kind of feel like it's the perfect manifestation of where NFTs or non-fungible tokens are going. Because like in the original case of NFTs, typically if they were on Ethereum or Solana or whatever, they were with a pointer to somewhere else. So like you'll probably quite enjoy this description, Jeremy.
I think I've heard it actually. So just Toby, just taking a step back. I think the bit probably worth mentioning. Once again, assume zero knowledge. Bitcoin's probably the most popular and I think the most robust one out there. Do you agree with that statement in terms of blockchain? The toughest one out there to hack, if at all. Is that a good?
100%. I think it's very, very tricky to hack.
Yes.
I mean, there's been some chatter lately because of advances in quantum computing.
Yes. What's your view?
We might be nearing the quantum hack. Well, I'm told by people that's just internet FUD for now. But I think never always expect a black swan event. So I think someone somewhere will be trying to hack Bitcoin, right? Because it's quite a lucrative thing to be able to do, but I think for now, people tend to think it's one of the most secure blockchains out there. It's well stored. It's clearly the most valuable cryptocurrency.
Oh yeah, we agree on that one. Yeah.
So I think it does have a lot of trust. Always Yeah, I think like
No, that's right, actually. So then, it's just building on. So what you're doing at Ordinals Bots, you're making use of that full secure
yeah.
chain, and that's the inscription basically. You're engraving, if I could use that sort of analog term. Your bytes along the chain.
Yeah, it is kind of, so each ordinal is stored into an individual Satoshi.
Yeah.
The cool thing about that is like it's kind of like scratching a penny or drawing onto a banknote or whatever it is. But in a digital fashion, it's a very neat, elegant solution to go like, how does almost you're making your Bitcoin more valuable by doing this, right? So it's kind of a interesting.
And then remind us again. So Satoshi is 1/1,000,000th of a Bitcoin. It's the cent. Is it a penny? What is it?
Yeah.
So it's the small 1
right.
million. So it's the smallest.
It's a tiny decimal point of a Bitcoin. It's obviously but I think like the good thing about it, that means that what's interesting about that is they are scarce, but there's a lot of them as well, so you can create a lot of ordinals.
Millions. I hope it's still enough, actually, because the way the price is going on Bitcoin, I hope 1 million is still small enough, actually. But I think
when one Satoshi is equal to $100,000, that's where we want to get to, right? So
might happen, actually. But sort of chiming in my 2 cents or my 2 Satoshis are a good one. I fully agree on the quantum thing. There's a lot of noise out there, and well done to Google, by the way. Full credit to Google for their achievement, but it's not clear about it's not clear about the real use application, and B, it's even less clear about encryption on the blockchain side, right? So, but absolutely, Toby. Keeping an eye on that one. I think that's an important one. So good, thank you. Listen, Toby, well done. With your hats on, I think last week you were in Miami. That's correct, actually. So you do travel a lot. What's the sort of, dare I say, the latest buzzword? But what's your sense overall globally? I guess we're all quite bullish generally, but any views, more bullish, less bullish, neutral, excitement? What's your sort of
I'm extremely bullish, right?
Good.
I'm a perma bull, Jeremy. I always like it. Because I think I think there will be, I think we've seen over the years, right? That every single down cycle has been a massive buying opportunity, right? So it's kind of so I think you've got to obviously not be too crazy, not deploy too much recklessly in the top, try and harvest the way, I think we're both builders, right? So we've been Ordinals Bot, we started it 2 years ago when it really wasn't a crypto bull market,
which was very brave, by the way, very brave, Toby. I think ironically, I think there's some from dare I say, the old world. There's some anecdotal data that things started, if I can call it a recession, but things started during the downturn. You do much better, actually, because it's less.
Yeah, you've got to, as an entrepreneur, you've just got to plug through the whole thing. I think the more frothy markets from an entrepreneurial and I guess wearing a kind of VC investor hat, I've done a few liquid investment. It's always when the markets get too frothy that you run the greater risk of doing a bad deal, right? So
but then it's most difficult because even going back through the centuries, people like Isaac Newton. When your neighbors, when the shoe shine is telling you to buy something, that's probably the top, isn't it? Or when your neighbor's making silly money and you feel left out, which is human psychology. But okay.
I think you're right. Newton got exposed in the South Sea bubble.
That's right. That was the first. I think it was the first documented bubble. Maybe there was some back in the Greeks, but that was the first official. Allegedly super Newton. I'm sure the internet, but we all get sucked into it. I guess that's human nature, isn't it? By the way, so there we go. So good. I think I'm sure Tarun will come in halfway through and just plug in the fact that we're doing behavioral forecasting at AlgoDynamix, but I'm not going to do it. So let's look on that one. So good, exciting. So listen, Toby, I'm trying to get sort of balanced views here. I'm in the right place. We've got Bitcoin, cryptos all over me, and everything else. Same for yourself. You travel a lot, basically. what's your view? I guess, you don't have to name countries or jurisdictions, but, not everybody is as bullish, not everybody is as optimistic. Are they missing something? I'm trying to get a balanced debate here. Why would you not believe in it? Why would you not be bullish? I guess I'm trying to sort of flick things around here. Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously, like the last 2 days, if the drawdown on Bitcoin is not for the faint of the heart, right?
Yeah.
Like you'd be if you bought Bitcoin 2 days ago, you'd probably be down roughly 10% or thereabouts. Like some people, and you add a bit of leverage on top of that, and you can eviscerate quite a lot of money if you want to, right? So I think that's the thing. I think like most participants in like crypto and Bitcoin end up winning, but they have to probably have they all have battle scars along the way, right? I think that's my like it's very easy to do stupid things in the crypto and Bitcoin market. So I think that's like that's one reason to be less bullish. But I think like that's as someone described it to me, like DeFi is kind of almost like opening up a highly professional kitchen for major chefs to the kiddies, right? Like you're letting them play around with all the sharp knives and whatever. So
that's why some of the sharp knives, but that's where some of the regulators start stepping in for good or for bad. Basically, I think the FCA.
I'm a total libertarian, so I'm like, well, the regulators are probably a bit misguided on that one. But let the kiddies play with the sharp knives. But
it's a good way of learning, actually. Yeah, okay. I guess we got two sort of general bullish speakers here on the podcast, right? So I think we just sort of try and tame things in that one. So I guess I mean absolutely sharp knives, amazing technology, amazing tools. So I think this is all sort of getting our one. Likewise, happy days ahead, really. So I think other topics. As I said, your show, Toby, your podcast, your content. Obviously, there's been a recent election in North America. With some changes ahead, and I think 20th Jan is going to be a presidential switch in the US. Any thoughts, any views, more the same, or what sort of? What
I mean, Trump to the crypto markets has given sort of almost everything they wanted, right? So from that point of view, we're seeing a definite loosening of regulation. We're seeing some intelligent appointments in like David Sachs as the crypto czar, and Elon has his Doge or Department of General Efficiency. So it's with Vivek. So like I think like from our point of view, I think Jeremy, it's definitely a good thing. I mean like obviously Trump has a checkered history, so like I'm sure it's not all good, and I guess it's but he suddenly like seems to have a smart team around him. It's great to have like people of the caliber of Elon and Vivek and David Sachs like advising the president, right? Like I think that's pretty exciting. How it plays out, who knows? But like the I kind of feel this term they've come in more prepped than before, so maybe that's bullish. We'll see. Like I think everyone was pretty sick of the Democrats, so kind of like it's funny, right? Like it's the whole world, and it's quite amusing how much the crypto bros have learned to love the Republicans, because I don't think they're natural Republican voters, but like it's.
I think is that true? This is probably borderline speculation that was sort of political funding coming from the crypto bros actually for the Republicans. I don't know if that's true or not. Possibly. Well, I mean, with Elon, I guess.
It's documented, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. Okay.
I guess it's so if you pay enough and the president enacts your agenda, then I guess you learn to like it. But it's interesting because it means that the Republicans have kind of skewed the demographics, and typically a lot of the younger voters many of them would vote Democrat, and this time around, I think you had a landslide. Anyway,
amongst all demographics, I think, wasn't it? So that's on that one.
Fascinating. Fascinating redrawing the political map and like going and like now it's great to see like Bitcoin at 100K flavor of the month. I'm sure Michael Saylor with Bitcoin at 97K is sort of busy reloading to buy some more Bitcoin, but
that's another one. I think his company, the Micro, I think it's just joined the Nasdaq index actually. So that tells you something, isn't it? That's very, very impressive. So well done, Michael. So just bring it back to home now, to Toby. Very, very insightful. So I mean, dearest UK, and I think we can sort of blow our trumpets here. I'll tell you my two micro cents, my two micro satoshis, and hopefully you can actually disagree with me, because this is supposed to be a bit more sort of poking around really. Listen, UK's tech stack's fine, developers fine. I think funding's fine. Possibly not the best place to do any crypto project. You agree? You disagree? I mean, obviously you've done very well yourself, but what's your sort of general gist about UK as a crypto hub or crypto technology center? Yeah,
I think it's very tricky to our analytics company we incorporated in the UK. Really like Northbot we set up in Gibraltar because we just felt that the UK, I think how it's regulated is very tricky. It's kind of and I chat with my friends, you've got MICA to comply with, you've got the UK digital asset thingy, and it seems like there's just a lot of barriers to entry for small businesses to do stuff in the crypto digital asset space, and I think there's definitely overkill in terms of that kind of thing. I just think you can't weigh businesses down. I think it's kind of a global trend, right?
It's global, and then just context for the international viewers. We've had a not so recent UK election actually, so the Labour government is a majority. Mixed, not I don't know, Toby, I'm trying to analyse. They haven't made any big noises either way about crypto. Maybe it's just not important enough for them. Is that a fair analysis for the current UK government? Or
I think sadly it's not top of their agenda.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, exactly, not top of their agenda.
And I don't think, and I think it's a real shame, right? We had A16Z set their headquarters.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. So that was obviously a positive thing under Rishi, and then now I kind of feel like everyone, the US is open for business on the crypto space in theory. Then I think the shift is if you go to Dubai or Asia, whatever, I kind of feel like Dubai, Singapore, these kind of hubs are getting very vibrant on the crypto side, but they all have their peculiarities and trickiness to understand. So we've been learning a lot about global regulation, and kind of my instinct is you want sensible regulation with sensible lawyers that almost allow people to make money and not commit crime, right? That's kind of my
that should be basics 101. I think we agree with that one. But the details, how do you implement? I guess that's a tricky bit. Really, so.
And I think that's the thing, right? You get I think the detail has been overburdensome for sure, right? And I kind of feel like there was a big missed opportunity around Brexit, right? That was, I wasn't a big pro-Brexit fan, but if you're going to do it, you might as well have a bonfire of regulation and
which didn't happen, did it? No,
it didn't happen, sadly.
Yeah. So. Interesting. So interesting topics on that one. So probably not high enough on the current sort of Labour government really. So I think that's answered that one. So I guess you've got the global. From our end too, obviously Hong Kong and everything else. So I think Gibraltar that's probably one of your sort of solutions, I guess, isn't it? So Toby, partly here, partly Gibraltar, and that's one way around it, I guess, isn't it? Really. So.
I think that from a crypto perspective, Gibraltar's got quite sound regulation, and that you can explore all around the world. Was in Dubai recently. I think it's interesting for sure, right? And I think we're going to get improvements, and I think the good thing is with the US opening up, I think
it might. Interesting thing, actually. Yeah, it might wave over. Actually, yes, interesting. Yeah, no, okay, good. Tarun's joining us again, actually. So just in back for the question. So don't be shy, Tarun. Just to put the camera back on there. So we have a few questions. So I'll read them out now. So you can type them in the Q&A, or if not, you can raise your hand. And Tarun, I think we'll just a bit of context. We're discussing, sort of global issues, international bits. Gibraltar's location. Hong Kong in our case, right? Tarun, it's been good, and then possibility that with US changes that there might be something sort of waving over, actually. So I think just a bit of a summary there. Okay, I'll start with the first question from Annie. Good. Okay, Toby, I think it's definitely a question for you, actually. Can you see the Q&A? I'll read it out for you. This is a question on regulation and governance. How are global regulatory changes shaping the Bitcoin ecosystem? Yes. Okay. So how is regulation as a catalyst for the ecosystem in Bitcoin?
Yeah. So this is more a policy.
Policy question.
I think Trump's stated policy to make a Bitcoin reserve, I think is absolutely huge, right?
Yes.
We'll see. And I think from what I've been hearing, it's likely in the next 100 days. And if that does happen, and even if it happens in the next few years, right? Like the fact you've got the US implementing a Bitcoin reserve is massively bullish. I think like my view is you definitely see a bit more actually Bitcoin's underbought, right? Like at the moment.
Can I ask a probing question? Because our day job is price forecasting, so we see a lot. Do you think this sort of do you think it's already slightly priced into the Bitcoin price or not? Because it hasn't really moved since even after this big announcement, right? It was a bit muted.
Well, I think it moved up. It moved up. It could well be priced in between 65 to 100. Okay. But I just don't think it is, and the reason I was also just in Abu Dhabi and Dubai, and definitely hearing around there, everyone's sort of trying to front run the US government, right?
On changes to regulatory policy, you mean? That level of front running,
so this is more just on changing, moving to go okay, if the US is going to adopt Bitcoin reserve.
Then everybody else wants to do it too.
Interesting. Or whatever it is, you can literally buy it on your PA or whatever, and then adopt it in your country or whatever, right? I don't know. It's a funny one, but I think what you'll see is more nimble jurisdiction from the US will move. This is my bit of financial bullish forecasting advice. Basically, I think a lot of countries, be they in Latin America, the Middle East, Asia, or whatever, will sit there going, this is an opportunity to get ahead of the US. And the UK obviously is sitting on several billion Bitcoin, right? So we could, in theory, rather than sell that Bitcoin.
This is confiscation. Right. This is treasury. I didn't know that. How come the UK's got a few? What's the story here, Toby? What's there?
I think there was some ridiculous fraud where PC Plod seized 3 to 4 billion Bitcoin, and so we actually have.
Hang on, Toby. So this is units of Bitcoin or 3 to 4 billion of pounds worth of Bitcoin, or either way, it's big. Okay, pounds a bit. Okay, these are massive numbers. Either way, these are massive numbers, obviously. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly a useful starting point. If the UK wanted to go, hey, we're going to treat this thing like gold, we could do it at a flick of a switch. I don't think we're going to be the nimble people, but why not, right?
I like your option. Tarun, I don't know if you want to chime in. So a bit of background. Tarun is running global operations, obviously, from Hong Kong to California. But Tarun's actually based in Canada, in Toronto, and dare I say, I think Canada's probably on par with the UK in terms of Bitcoin adoption. Tarun, i.e., nothing. Is that a fair statement, or how would you sort of describe the Canadian policy here? So,
usually Canada follows in lockstep with the US. So if the US is about to build a Bitcoin reserve, I wouldn't be surprised if Canada does something similar in short order. And usually, probably down the line, I envision some sort of symmetry between Canadian crypto regulations and US crypto regulations.
Yeah, they usually align, don't they? Eventually, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. kind of perspective then. Good, fascinating. Let's keep going through the questions, and just keep typing the questions, or you can raise your hand. If you're very brave, you can raise your hand, or I'll keep reading. So that's a question from Annie. I think we've already partly answered that question already, Toby. I'll read it again from Annie again. How does London compare with other global fintech and crypto hubs? So how would you rate London, Toby? Once again, try and be critical. I know we're all bullish and everything else, but how would you rate it compared to Singapore?
And firstly, on the policy answer, I guess like the big Bitcoin policy really is or regulation. To start coming to the first question, like I didn't really answer it. I talked about policy, but like clearly, like the ETFs and that kind of and bringing that way of institutions being able to hold Bitcoin was a massive departure. And then thinking about how London compared, I mean, like I think we've been ahead in some ways for a while and tried to like of the kind of regulated areas of like compared to the UK compared to mainland Europe and
I know we US, had the sandbox. We had
maybe we're a bit.
Have we lost that? It feels like we've lost it a bit, Toby.
I feel we've lost the momentum in the last 2 years, right? Like I feel like there's somehow we managed to tie ourselves in knots. So I think there just hasn't been enough attention paid to it. But anyway, I don't know.
Okay, so I think that's probably a fair comparison there, actually. So let's keep rattling through the questions. There are quite a few questions actually from Frank. Well done, Toby. It's one for you. I don't know if you know. How might the global dollar network affect Bitcoin? I don't know, less familiar with that. Is that things like Tether?
I'm assuming that's a CBDC or whatever, right?
I suspect it is actually. It's not Tether, so it's just various government initiatives. Yeah.
I think like I'm going to answer more generally on CBDCs. I'm not specifically aware about global dollar network, I kind of feel that they're really important, right? But I don't think they have any impact on Bitcoin, right? Like I think like you've got like great that governments want to go digital. I think there's a lot of people in the crypto blockchain space who are worried that this is actually going to be terrible and governments can't be trusted to like look after a CBDC network. I tend to be a bit more optimistic, I think, but it might not be. It probably won't end up being that good tech or that useful because it'll be implemented by a government. So it's like my gut. But let's see. And like I think like obviously like the Bank of England's talking with the banks and like the Federal Reserve and whatever to like try and implement these things.
It might work best on the do you call that the fiat rails on the backbone, so to speak, right? But I think the closer you get the retail, the worse it would be. Is am I putting words in your mouth here, Toby, or not? Interbank it might work if anything. So
yeah, and I know that I went to a fascinating talk on like how the Chinese government is working with like WeChat and
yes,
right? Like. So maybe the Chinese crack how they get into retail, and you get like.
I'm sure they will actually, if they haven't already, Toby.
Yeah. And that might end up being quite dystopian as well. So like, it's quite a. But anyway, like I guess we're not here.
We're not here yet. Okay, that's parting it. So thank you for that question, Frank. So Darren, good, Darren. Reading the question here. What's the most exciting projects around the crypto space you're keeping an eye on? Most exciting projects that haven't quite reached the media yet. So not the most exciting, but stuff below the radar. I guess that's Darren's question.
So I guess I have my bias. Obviously, like I'm a co-founder of OrdinalsBot and our Trio marketplace, so I'll give it a little plug. I don't know if that's so basically like I'm excited by like people building on layer 1 Bitcoin. Basically, we're storing data onto Bitcoin with OrdinalsBot. Trading things. What we've been doing is we've been putting we've been gold on Bitcoin, so you get like you can trade 1 ounce bars of gold on Bitcoin, which is quite fun. You can get and hopefully.
So the gold is just by I use the term engraving, just sort of dummy now. So you engrave that on one of the satoshis, or no, and that becomes a sort of,
exactly.
It's not a satoshi; it's a satoshi with a gold engraved on it. So that's the sort of interesting one. Is that something? Is that correct? Yeah. Toby?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So the inscription is stored in an individual Satoshi. Then we're putting the rights to the gold that you could actually redeem from Brinks in London, the gold.
Okay,
So,
yeah,
like,
proper.
you could literally trade back and forth, like 1 ounce gold NFTs, which are worth roughly like $2,600 or whatever, right? Like, which is quite, like, we find it quite intriguing. So I like that. We're also putting a Braque painting by the Cubist contemporary of Picasso onto Bitcoin. So like I think you'll get works of art, you'll get gold, you'll get houses, you'll get all sorts of things traded.
As long as it links back properly to the certificate, to the physical, that's it, right? You saw, okay, that's nice.
Yeah, as long as that's the challenge.
That's the important bit, isn't it? Make sure it's all.
And there's an implementation challenge, and there's a adoption challenge. I mean, there's all sorts of things, but I love that kind of stuff. And then I love the fungible token side and fractionalization and all of these things, right? Like I think I just feel like I'm obviously most infused by the Bitcoin space. I think like there's and it's just because many other crypto chains end up being vaporware at the end of the day, right? Like whereas you kind of
sure. But I guess, just once again trying to keep it so broad.
Yeah.
So I mean, so is Ethereum, Solana probably the direct competitors here or not, or you don't see them as competitors for the?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think clearly Solana's brilliant, right? Like it is the current degen casino is Solana with I got my Magic Eden airdrop the other day because they're quite a big player in the Bitcoin space, and then played around with Solana and promptly went up 4 times, down 50%, that kind of thing.
Okay, it's a bit of it's worse than anything you've ever seen in terms of volatility, isn't it? Really, so it's the I mean, you've been plugging your stuff. I think we can plug some algo stuff. I mean, Taruna, that's what we do pretty much. To try to price forecasters and reduce volatility risk. Okay, so that's Darren. I think some of the questions obviously is good from Toby here, but I think engraving there, so that's another one. Okay, more questions. Gary, good, Gary. Okay, right, it's going to be a tough one. It's Gary. Over the past 10 years, we've had cryptocurrencies, smart contracts, ICOs, NFTs, ordinals, blah, 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 whatever. What's the next hype cycle? So all these techs I've just mentioned, smarts, ICOs, NFT. What do you think is the next? I'm not going to say bubble, but what's the next thing that we haven't got yet?
I think the AI projects are really taking off. Actually,
thank you, Toby. Good answer. Yes.
I think I've already got people pitching me AI ordinals. I actually discovered the as a tidbit. Ran into the guy who helped create you remember Sophia the robot and Nansen and Nansen Robotics and Handsome Robotics and Singularity.
Oh yeah, I guess. Oh yes, yes.
Ran into that person, and then we're let's do a rune plugged into AI, maybe Sophia or whatever it is, and figure that out. So I think there's going to be a lot of crazy stuff. Yes. Of people mixing the crypto tokens with AI.
We're already doing it, obviously, but yes, okay. Different flavors, right? Okay.
But you're doing the AI in the background on the trading. You're doing serious AI.
We'd like to believe we're the serious ones. We're not the sort of the monkey ones. That's right. Yes.
Yeah. But I'm quite enjoying the I think there'll be a playful tokenized AI. So maybe it's the AlgoDynamix token at some point that sort of trades around
we had a few of those, didn't we, Tarun? I think we had suggestions of more sort of tokenization, right? So okay, thank you for that. Okay, good. Toby's designing our roadmap. So good. Thank you. I don't see any more immediate questions. So I think and also it's getting quite dark around here. I should have brought out my light actually. So that's bad planning on that one really. But Toby, anything else? Any last thoughts? So yes, of course you're quite bullish. I think we're all quite bullish. Obviously, this is a Bitcoin podcast, so we are. But any sort of last thoughts? Any concluding remarks before we sort of slowly, what's the sort of words of wisdom. Putting you on the spot here, Toby. So we've covered politics, we've covered geopolitics, we've covered sort of centers of excellence, we've covered regulations, we've covered policies, we've covered next waves. Anything you think we should have covered but we haven't covered?
Yeah, I think Darren sneaked in something like that. I was actually looking at AI linked to a fungible token, but yeah, again, these are quite prosaic, kind of speculative games.
Speculative,
which I think fun, right? I'm looking forward to these crazy Gen AI experiments with people, and I know they're happening the whole time, right? Where you're getting, I mean, I kind of feel like a lot of the I think ChatGPT's already kind of revolutionized the world. Like it's been I think it's just effortlessly fed into like everyone's workflow. People are using it a lot. I think that's just obviously, like, I'm here with two AI experts, so I'm feeling slightly like.
No, we want to hear it, Toby. We don't. I think you probably have more exposure, actually, especially with your Novum Insights hat on. You probably have broad.
I do.
In our case, we're trading, but you probably have a broad spectrum.
AI trading for sure is exciting.
I mean, exciting.
I think it's pretty clear that you're just getting every vertical where efficiencies can be found through AI. It's happening overnight, right? And it's been pretty amazing. And then I think there's obviously just a lot of plays at the moment that we're seeing that going like there's a war to acquire data processing power to power all these AI models.
Oh wow, power! That's probably that might be a separate podcast topic actually, because there's physical infrastructure, obviously, right? I think the energy needs to come from somewhere, right?
I keep on meeting, I kind of feel like my mind is blown by the whole thing, and I think that there's lots of people doing really, really cool projects around the topic, right? I actually had someone who was doing an AI project on, I was talking to last week, and they were talking on the census and using AI to basically map out census results, almost like the probability of election results without actually needing to poll people.
It's getting dangerous one again. It's getting a dangerous one, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's kind of it's literally they could tell how elections would go with decent probability by just doing AI mapping of how people are behaving and what they're doing, kind of thing. And
wow. There's a lot of insights in behaviour, I can tell you that, Toby. So good, actually. I think we're approaching 45 minutes. It's been actually good. Haroon, you've been sort of quietly listening. You've been absorbing, and I think we're going to obviously continue what we're doing in terms of crypto and an equity fund. So that's been exciting. So everybody, I would like to thank you all for participating. As I said, it has been recorded. You'll get a link, you get a replay, and we'll put it on YouTube. And then Toby, hopefully we'll get you back at some point, actually, because it's always quite refreshing to hear and to see what you've been up to and what you're hearing around the world. Actually, it's very, very valuable. So good. Okay, right.
Yeah. No. Well, can't wait, Jeremy. Great stuff.
Pleasure. Toby.
Thank you. Bye. Take it. Bye.